Prepare to embark on a journey through the skies as we unravel the gripping tale of Tatarstan Airlines Flight 363. In this riveting documentary, we delve deep into the events surrounding one of aviation's most tragic moments. Buckle up as we explore the mysteries, the human stories, and the heart-wrenching aftermath of a fateful flight that ended in disaster. From the bustling corridors of Moscow's Domodedovo Airport to the serene skies over Kazan, join us as we piece together the untold narrative behind this catastrophic crash. Get ready to be enthralled as we uncover the truths and tribulations that unfolded on that ill-fated day, leaving no stone unturned in our quest for understanding. On November 17, 2013, amidst the bustling activity of Moscow's Domodedovo Airport, the stage was set for the departure of Tatarstan Airlines Flight 363. As the sun cast its early morning rays upon the tarmac, ground crews diligently prepared the Boeing 737-500 for its journey to Kazan. Fuel tanks were meticulously filled, luggage was loaded with precision, and maintenance checks were conducted with unwavering scrutiny. Domodedovo Airport, situated on the outskirts of Moscow, is a bustling hub known for its modern facilities and efficient operations, catering to millions of passengers annually. Tatarstan Airlines, headquartered in Kazan, Republic of Tatarstan, was a respected regional carrier known for its reliable service on domestic and international routes across Europe and the Middle East. The Boeing 737-53A, bearing registration number VQ-BBN, had a distinguished service record spanning over 23 years and had been operated by 7 different airlines. Initially owned by AWS, it was leased to various carriers including Uralair, Air France, Uganda Airlines, Rio Sul, Blue Air, Bulgaria Air, and finally, Tatarstan Airlines, until its tragic crash. This aircraft had encountered 2 prior incidents, once in 2001 with Rio Sul where it crashed short of the runway during adverse weather conditions, and again in 2012 when it made an emergency landing in Kazan due to cabin depressurization issues shortly after takeoff. Despite these incidents, all passengers and crew survived both events. The captain was 47-year-old Rustam Gabdrahmanovich Salikov, who had been with the airline since 1992. He had 2,155 flight hours, including 2,509 hours on the Boeing 737. The first officer was Viktor Nikiforovich Gutsol, who was also 47. He had been with the airline since 2008 and had 2,093 flight hours, with 1,143 of them on the Boeing 737. Among the 44 passengers aboard Tatarstan Airlines Flight 363, a diverse representation of nationalities was evident, comprising primarily of 42 Russian citizens, along with 1 individual each from the United Kingdom and Ukraine. Among the notable passengers was Irek Minikhanov, the son of Rustam Minikhanov, the incumbent president of the Republic of Tatarstan, and Alexander Antonov, head of the Tatarstan Department of the Federal Security Service. Their presence underscored the significance of the flight, not only as a routine journey, but also as a manifestation of various societal and governmental connections. Tatarstan Airlines Flight 363 departed Moscow's Domodedovo International Airport at 6:25 p.m. local time. The flight bound for Kazan International Airport, roughly 800 kilometers, 500 miles, to the east. After maintaining stable flight at 33,000 feet for an hour, the aircraft began its preparations for the approach to Kazan Airport, ensuring a smooth transition from cruising altitude to landing procedures. Due to the presence of the 2 VIP passengers, Irek Minikhanov and Alexander Antonov, the pilot faced heightened pressure to execute a flawless landing as the aircraft prepared for its descent at Kazan Airport. The pilot team failed to establish the navigation system by entering the exact flight coordinates prior to takeoff, inadvertently overlooking this crucial procedure amidst their pre-flight preparations. This oversight led to the guided system not functioning properly, setting the stage for challenges during the approach and landing phases of the flight. In the face of heavy rain, strong winds, and low visibility caused by the adverse weather conditions in Kazan, the decision to attempt the landing was further complicated, intensifying the already challenging situation for the inexperienced crew. The Air Traffic Control ATC recommended diverting to an alternative airport. However, despite the suggestion and the inexperienced crew consisting of both the captain and first officer, the pilot opted to attempt the landing, driven by a desire to persevere despite the challenging circumstances. As the aircraft neared the airport, it encountered the full force of the severe weather conditions, including heavy rain, dense clouds, and drastically reduced visibility, posing significant challenges to the already precarious landing attempt. A new complication emerged as the flight route deviated approximately 4 kilometers from the designated and regulated path due to the oversight of entering coordinates prior to takeoff. This unexpected deviation presented a formidable challenge for the pilot team, exacerbating an already tense situation amidst the adverse weather conditions. With the aircraft straying off course, the crew faced the daunting task of recalibrating their approach strategy while contending with the deteriorating weather and dwindling visibility, further complicating their efforts to safely navigate the landing at Kazan Airport.
1000 stabilized, no flags.
Так, 292. Есть. Все, вот, полоса под нами.
Despite the deviation from the regulated flight path, the pilot team, perhaps overconfidently, proceeded with the decision to attempt the landing in the wrong route, mistakenly believing it to be an acceptable course of action. However, their misplaced confidence only added to the complexity of the situation, potentially placing the safety of the aircraft and its occupants at greater risk.
Народ, скажи, уходим на второй круг. Непосадочное положение. Татарстан 363, уходим на второй круг. Непосадочное положение.
In response to the aircraft being on the wrong route, the pilot team faced the necessity of making 2 critical turns to realign for a safe landing. To execute these maneuvers, the captain made the decision to disengage the autopilot mode, opting instead to rely on manual control. This shift to manual mode allowed the captain greater flexibility and precision in maneuvering the aircraft, enabling them to navigate the required turns and adjust course effectively.
Татарстан 363, выбираете 500 метров. Работайте с кругом 119,4.
Flaps 15.
3, набираем 600 метров. Правильно.
Adding to the mounting challenges, the pilot encountered severely limited visibility as they approached the runway. The dense atmospheric conditions obscured the runway from view, creating a disorienting and potentially hazardous situation for the crew. Acknowledging the escalating complexity of the situation, the captain instructed the first officer to be prepared to engage the takeoff go-around 2G button in the event of an aborted landing. Believing that activating this button would increase engine power and allow the autopilot mode to assume control of the aircraft, the captain sought to ensure a swift and decisive response to any potential need to abort the landing attempt. Despite the multitude of challenges, the pilot team remained determined to execute the landing. While the captain maintained control of the aircraft, the first officer diligently scanned the surroundings in search of the runway. Confidence in their ability to achieve a smooth landing was shattered when they realized they were flying over what appeared to be a passenger station, not the intended runway, with their altitude still too high. Swiftly recognizing the impending danger, the first officer alerted the captain, prompting an immediate decision to abort the landing. With precision and urgency, the tow gay button was pressed, relinquishing manual control as they awaited the autopilot to assume command, while informing Air Traffic Control, ATC, of the aborted landing attempt. In a critical moment of reliance on the autopilot system, the captain removed their hands from the controls, trusting that the automated system would smoothly guide the aircraft. With the 2G button engaged, engine power increased, causing the airplane's nose to tilt upward. Unaware of the gravity of the situation, Both pilots released their grip on the steering wheel. A stall warning alert sounded. Imminent danger, but it was too late. Tatarstan Airlines Flight 363 tragically met its end when it collided with the ground, resulting in a catastrophic explosion that claimed the lives of all passengers and cabin crew aboard. Following the tragic crash, the IAC initiated an investigation and swiftly reached the crash site on November 18th. Both the flight data recorder, FDR, and the cockpit voice recorder, CVR, were successfully retrieved from the wreckage. Additionally, the Tatarstan Transport Prosecution Office has commenced a criminal investigation into the incident. The American National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, promptly dispatched a team of investigators to the crash site to contribute to the investigation efforts. The final report released by the IAC on December 24, 2015, concluded that the crash of the aircraft was primarily attributed to an underqualified crew's inability to handle an excessive nose-up attitude during a go-around procedure. This procedure was necessitated by a positional error in the navigation system, known as map drift. The crew's deficiencies were compounded by the high workload they faced, potentially leading to a tunnel vision effect, where warning messages related to autopilot disconnection went unnoticed. As the aircraft climbed during the go-around, the captain, lacking practical experience in such maneuvers, made a critical error by pitching the nose downwards, inadvertently causing the aircraft to descend rapidly. This resulted in a steep nosedive, with the aircraft impacting the ground at a high speed of over 450 km/h, leading to the tragic crash on the airport's runway. The entire sequence, from the initiation of the go-around to the impact, lasted approximately 45 seconds, with about 20 seconds spent in descent. The report highlighted systemic issues such as deficiencies in airline safety management and inadequate regulatory oversight as contributing factors to the crew's lack of preparedness and the subsequent tragedy. Investigators uncovered a disturbing revelation that despite holding a genuine pilot degree, the captain had obtained a fraudulent certification. This deceitful act raised serious concerns regarding the captain's qualifications and competence, shedding light on potential lapses in the airline's screening and verification processes. In the wake of the tragic incident, Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency took decisive action, recommending the revocation of the airline's certificate in early December 2013. This recommendation was followed by an official announcement on December 31, 2013, confirming the revocation. Subsequently, the company's aircraft were transferred to Akbar's Aero, marking the end of Tatarstan Airlines operations in the aftermath of the crash.